Good morning, Be Bold Fitness Co community. This morning, I wanted to show you guys what it was like to come to one of our group workouts on Saturday mornings. Now, remember, these are currently just offered the first Saturday of every month. Now, if more of you start showing up for these, I would love to offer these every Saturday morning. If there's a time that works better for you too, I am open to changing the time around. So maybe we'll send out the little sheet that we could go through to decide if there's a better time that works for everybody. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and get into this workout, starting with our warm up. We're going to have 3 minutes here on the clock, and we're going to go through a few different exercises. These are fully modifiable to you, the level you're at. If you have aches or pains going on, or just have a difficult time getting into a certain position, I'm going to offer some different options for you here. So let's get started. I'm going to turn my timer on a second here. All right, we got our countdown going. We're going to start with marching in place or jogging in place. Okay, so jogging or marching, let's make sure we have those legs shoulder width apart. Make sure your foot is touching the ground with each step, full connection to the ground there with those feet, whether we are marching or jogging. Keep it going there. We've got about 10 seconds left here, and we're going to head into some arm circles and shoulder rolls. All right, heading on into those arm circles, big forward circles here, really reaching with those arms. Let's go 5 forward, and let's go 5 back. Go, rolling out those shoulders, waking up the body. Right, we're gonna add some shoulder rolls. So we're gonna pick up the shoulders and roll them forward. And now we'll roll them backwards. So really squeezing the shoulders, squeezing them together, rolling them out. Squeeze together and roll out. Great job. All right, we are moving into some body weight good morning. So for this one, you're going to place your hands lightly on the top of your head, not pull or push. We're going to push our hips back first as our chest falls. We really want to build tension in the back of our legs and our hamstrings and come on back up to the top. So breathe in, push those hips back. And as we come up, nice breath out to the top. And make sure those feet are nice and connected to the ground. If you feel your feet coming up off the floor at all, let's say that starts to happen when you get to about here, I want you to just go ahead and stop there and just go to this range of motion for now. And as you get better at these and they become more comfortable for you, you're going to get lower with your body by pushing through those hips and bringing those hips back up. Great job. All right, moving into some standing toe taps. So we're just going to reach across our body here. Come on back up. If you get dizzy, if you're lifting your head up and down, and we're just going to go ahead and do this instead. All right, so here or across the body. Good job. Let's do a couple more here. This is warming up our core. This is stretching out our lower back and getting a little movement through those hamstrings. Great job. All right, we're going to move into some controlled body weight squats or air squats. So get those feet shoulder width apart. You can kind of toe out with your toes or have them straight forward. See what feels more comfortable for you. Good job. Breathing in, out at the top. Think about sitting your butt down like you're going to sit on the toilet. Great work. All right, we are all warmed up and ready to go. We're going to head into our core circuit here next, starting with some Deadbug heel taps. So I'm going to get my timer set again here for this. Woo, I am already warm, I tell you what. Okay, so we are going to go with We'll do these for about 30 seconds each as well. We're going to rotate through 3 movements here. So 3 rounds. And we're going to rest for just 10 seconds between movements. Okay, so this one's going to go quick. All right, getting started here on the ground for dead bug heel taps. Right, you're going to keep your body on the floor and just your shoulder blades are coming up off the ground. We're kind of waddling back and forth here from side to side. This is one option. Okay, another option is to lift your feet up off the floor and leave your head on the ground and just kind of reach for those heels. Keeping your chin tucked to your chest. All right, we're going to rest. And we are moving into the glute bridge, and we're going to hold at the top. So stay in that position here. Now we're driving our hips up towards the sky and bringing our hips back down. Make sure you have good connection to the floor through your feet. Breathing out as you come down or out as you get to the top. Try not to overextend here. Just go to a range that's comfortable for you. Good. All right. Now we're moving into our wall supported plank. So if you're ready for a more challenging plank, you can take this on the floor. You can take this from your knees, or we could take this from an elevated position. Okay. In this elevated position, I'm really pushing up through my hands. So my back is kind of rounded out right here, keeping my tailbone tucked and my glutes tight, pushing back through my heels. Here we go. Keep holding. Hold, hold, hold. You got it. We go. Keep on breathing. Great job. We're going back to that dead bug movement and those glute bridges. So we're going to go through those all one more time. You can do the same movement, or you can choose to do a different one. Either way is fine. Just keep finding your breath. Here we go. Keep it moving. If that gets too hard, go ahead and change position and keep it rolling. Almost there. Rest, and we are moving into our glute bridges. So make sure your feet are close enough for you to touch. Really drives through the front of your feet and the sides. Take a breath in. Press up. Come down with a nice breath out. Go. Find that range of motion. All right, moving back into our planks. So same thing, you could do the same variation or try a different one. I'm going to go from my knees for this next one. Same thing as if I were elevated. So I can have my arms extended. This is a little easier on the shoulders. My body's in a nice straight line. I'm still actively squeezing my glutes a little bit, really pressing up through the ground here. Good job. Or we could also do this one from our elbows. Same thing, push up through those arms. Don't let your hands touch. Keep your hands away from each other. Woo! Well done. All right, guys, we're going to head into our main strength workout here next. So with this one, you can use equipment, you can do it body weight, or you could use bands. So I'm going to show you a little bit of each, just so you have an idea of how versatile this really could be. All right, we've got an ad. So let me get set up for our strength workout here while this ad on my timer runs. Okay, so each of these movements we're going to do for about 40 seconds. We'll rest for about 20 seconds as well between each round. And we're going to do this one 2 to 3 times. I'm going to say we're going to do it twice just because this is an example this morning. And that way you guys will have an idea of what to expect for next month's workout. All right. So here we're going to have some glute focused squats, or we're going to use a band or dumbbells for that one. We're going to have a bent over row, which is going to work your back and your arm muscles. Here we go. Keep it moving. If that gets too hard, go ahead and change position and keep it rolling. Almost there. Rest, and we are moving into our glute bridges. So make sure your feet are close enough for you to touch. Really drives through the front of your feet and the sides. Take a breath in, press up, come down with a nice breath out. Go. Find that range of motion. All right, moving back into our planks. So same thing, you could do the same variation or try a different one. I'm gonna go from my knees for this next one. Same thing as if I were elevated. So I can have my arms extended. This is a little easier on the shoulders. My body's in a nice straight line. I'm still actively squeezing my glutes a little bit, really pressing up through the ground here. Good job. Or we could also do this one from our elbows. Same thing, push up through those arms. Don't let your hands touch. Keep your hands away from each other. Woo! Well done. All right, guys, we're going to head into our main strength workout here next. So with this one, you can use equipment, you can do it body weight, or you could use bands. So I'm going to show you a little bit of each, just so you have an idea of how versatile this really could be. All right, we've got an ad. So let me get set up for our strength workout here while this ad on my timer runs. Okay, so each of these movements we're going to do for about 40 seconds. We'll rest for about 20 seconds as well between each round. And we're going to do this one 2 to 3 times. I'm going to say we're going to do it twice just because this is an example this morning. And that way you guys will have an idea of what to expect for next month's workout. All right, so here we're going to have some glute focused squats, or we're going to use a band or dumbbells for that one. We're going to have a bent over row, which is going to work your back and your arm muscles and your core. All of these work your core. And you can also use band, or we can do them body weight and do a different variation. I'll show you that when we get there. Or we could definitely do it with dumbbells. We're going to have some split squats or some elevated lunges. If you need to hold a wall for some support, go ahead and do that. That means it's body weight, that's fine. Otherwise, we can definitely use dumbbells or bands here too. We're gonna have a chest press or a band press. If we don't have equipment, we're just gonna do some push-ups or elevated push-ups on a surface, on a wall, whatever works best for you. And then we will end with some banded or weighted glute bridges. Again, if you're not ready or don't have equipment on hand, you can definitely do those body weight too, right? So let's get that timer set up. All right, you guys, we are heading into our strength circuit here next. So we are going to just go through 2 rounds of each of these movements. The first time through, I'm going to show you how to do it with a big loop resistance band. If you don't have one, I would really recommend getting one because this is something you could take on the go with you and work out virtually anywhere, right? And you know I'm all about that flexibility. So I'm also going to show you guys how to do this with dumbbells the second time through. And remember, of course, you can always do these movements with no equipment. So if you show up to the virtual workout next month without equipment, I'm going to be there to help walk you through how to adjust appropriately. Okay, so we're going to hit each of these movements 2 times. First time through with the band, second time through with the dumbbell, but you just keep rolling with whatever piece of equipment you have or none at all. Now, this is going to be an interval, so we're going to hit each movement for 30 seconds. We'll have 20 seconds to rest before we move into the next one. So we're going to get started with our squats, and I'm going to show you the band resisted squat here first. And so we're going to go through each of these with the band first. All right, so I'm gonna hit start on my timer here. All right, here we go. To get started with this one, go ahead and put the band under your feet, in the middle of your feet. And we're gonna place the band in your hands in the front of your body and keep your elbows tucked in. We don't want them flaring out. Keep them tucked in. And we're just gonna squat. Remember, you're thinking about sitting your booty down between your heels, or we're starting straight up and just pooping our butt out a little bit and sitting down from that position. Little boop, sit down, breathing in as we sit, breathing out as we stand. Great job. Go ahead and keep that band under your feet. If you want more resistance in this one, you can go ahead and put the band under both feet. So, or both sides of the band under both feet for a little more tension. And with this one, we want the elbow coming back towards our hip. Okay, so elbow, we're bringing our shoulders down our back. Breathing in as we pull, breathing out as we relax. Go, bring those shoulders down your back like you're trying to tuck them into your back pocket. Great work. All right, we are heading into our split squat or elevated lunge. Remember, you can hold the wall or something else for support here. But I'm going to get the band placed under my front foot, just so I have a little bit of tension here. Make sure your legs are shoulder width apart, and let's ease into this, okay? Gradually getting deeper with a slight forward chest lean. This is going to be more glute focused, okay? If my chest was more straight up, I'm going to feel this more in my quad, okay? We're going to keep a nice forward chest lean. Really keep that front foot planted on the ground. So if you're struggling, just don't go as deep. See if you're able to keep that foot on the ground. Great job. All right, remember what leg you did, because we're going to do the opposite one next time through, okay? I did my left leg, so make note of that. Okay, we're going into our banded press here next. So I'm going to put the band under my feet again, put it in front of my body, and if you want to add your legs, you can do a little dip and press. Make sure your pelvis and your rib cage are stacked in a straight line. We don't want to be arched here, okay? So keep on tightening that up. Use that momentum from your legs. Carry it right on up. All right, we are moving down to the ground here for our banded glute bridge, okay? So kind of like with our bent over row, to make it more challenging, have both sides of the band over your hips. To make it a little less resistance, just anchor one band, one side of the band down, and hold it with your hands on both sides of your pelvis. It's not going to be perfect, but it's just going to add a little bit of resistance. Keep on breathing. Good job. Keep those feet anchored to the floor. Great work, you guys. All right, we're going to go through all of those one more time, except this time I'm going to show you what it would look like to use dumbbells instead of a band, right? So first one, you do a goblet squat with one dumbbell, or if this was a plate, you might hold it across your chest. Same thing, we're looking to sink our booty back towards our heels. Or you could go dumbbells up on your shoulders for a front squat. Or hold them down at your sides. All right. Next up here, we've got bent over row. So you can go one dumbbell or two. If you're doing one dumbbell, you're going to switch halfway through. If you're using two, you're pulling them at the same time. I'm going to show you guys what it would look like with one dumbbell. So I'm going to start with my right arm. Bringing my elbow back towards my hip. And switch halfway. And rest. Woo! All right, we've got our split squats. So I'm going to do this one with two dumbbells just because I already did my first leg with a band. Otherwise, you could do this with one dumbbell. Actually, one dumbbell. One dumbbell. If the dumbbell is in the opposite hand, remember to switch legs. The dumbbell is in the opposite hand that we are working, the leg in the front. This is the most challenging for stability, okay? If you bring that dumbbell to the same side as the leg that you're using, then it just becomes more about weight, okay? So this is actually more challenging than having that dumbbell in the same as the leg that's in the front, okay? If you did do that one with two, it would look something like this, okay? Or you could hold them up here, or you could hold one dumbbell up here, okay? Lots of different options there. We're gonna go ahead and lay down on the floor. Just kidding. We're gonna do an overhead press first, right? Same thing, we can alternate. Breathing out as we press up. Keeping that rib cage locked on those hips. Okay, so we don't want this. Keep that rib cage stacked. Keep those glutes tight. If it gets to be too much standing, go ahead and dip and press. Dip and press. Woo! All right. Now we're gonna move into that glute bridge, okay? Last one here, you guys. You're doing a great job. Okay. So get that dumbbell on your hips and hold the very edges of it, or you can hold the middle. Either way, drive up through those heels. Breathe out as we come down. Great job. Halfway there. Finish strong. Well done. All right. So you guys made it through your group virtual workout today. Now, if we were actually live together, I would move into a farmer's carry or a wall sit if we had time, or if everybody just wanted to stay on, we could just move right into that together. And then I have a small cool down at the end. Okay, it's important that your heart rate comes down at the end of your workout. Okay, so if you don't have a watch that tells you what your heart rate is, that's okay. But ultimately, some way to know, how high your heart rate is, okay? Because after a workout, there's a misconception that we want to feel really tired or we want to feel dead, essentially. That's not always the case, okay? Most of the time, I want you feeling good walking out of your workout. Honestly, like I'd want you to be able to do more if I asked you to, really. I want you to feel like you did enough, but I also don't want you to feel like you can't walk leaving the gym or leaving your house, right? So let's find that happy medium here. And I'm going to go into a child's pose position here just to get some deep breathing in to bring my heart rate down. Child's pose is a great position to learn how to breathe with your diaphragm, okay? So my arms are out straight in front of me. My legs are wide. My toes are pointed together. So I want my legs as wide as I can comfortably get them. Then I'm going to sink my hips back and bring my forehead to the floor in a totally relaxed position. I'm breathing in through my nose and trying to fill above my belly button with air. And I'm going to hold, and then I'm going to exhale for as long as I can. I want you to gradually make that exhale longer. So inhale for 4, hold, and then and on that exhale, I want it to be like you're trying to fog up a mirror. So if you were trying to breathe on a mirror to fog it up, great job. And my heart rate came down from 130 to 102 just by taking those couple of breaths in child's pose. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next Saturday.